Greetings to you from wherever you're watching us tonight. Thanks for joining us on the Friday edition of the show. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Well, there's a lot to talk about on the show tonight, as usual, when we come around to take you on a trip across the money-spinning world of sports. Before I give you a rundown of what to expect on the show tonight, my partner, as always, also Kodakman, is ready to go, raring to go, and of course, we're taking this ride together again tonight.
Greetings to you, and of course, our viewers joining us from different parts of the world. Always a delight to be on the show. Still an action-packed sort of sports, and so much going down will be discussed on the show tonight.
All right, so much going down, like you said. And of course, before we bring our partner into the thick of things, let's talk about the National Sports Festival, Nigeria's mini Olympics. Things are hotting up, and it's 24 days to go, and a lot of things are happening behind the scenes. And one of those things happening behind the scenes is the main organizing committee and the local organizing committee holding a joint technical meeting. And there was a briefing to intimate people on what's going on, state of affairs, facilities, and every other thing, just to show the state of readiness for the games.
Yeah, and you know, these sort of meetings are very, very important because the technicalities need to be understood, you know, and then they need to give us proper briefing as regards, you know, what we should be expecting from the National Sports Festival. I thought they did a very good job with the last edition, despite the threat that COVID threw at that edition. They were able to pull it through, give a comprehensive report. And when you see the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports Development, you know, coming out to say, look, MOC, LOC, come out, let's talk, and then technicalities are being discussed, then you know we mean business. You know, I mean, these are some of the things I talk about, that it's not about competition all the time. When administrators, officials, persons, advocates, people who have the interest of sports, you know, come out to sit like this, talk, rub ideas, think about ways to take sport forward. That, for me, is the actual winning. It's the proper planning that we always want to see. So shout out to the MOC. They need to, you know, give us a report of some of the things they discussed so that the media can put some perspective into it. But the fact that they are meeting, they are discussing, it's a good one for the National Sports Festival.
All right, let's go straight into it and, of course, allow you listen to some of the things that happened, that took place in that meeting. Was a joint briefing, the MOC, LOC, telling us the state of affairs, showing us the state of readiness for the National Sports Festival.
We have gone through the various competition venues and 15 accommodation centers being put in place for the sports festival. I'm very happy to announce, as a former hockey player, that the hockey event will be played on the Blue Turf, which is about the only one of the three that we have in Africa. I therefore urge you all to be considerate and constructive in putting your criticisms.
Construction of a 25 times 100 standard swimming pool at Obiaroko. That is supposed to be a brand new swimming pool now at our swimming stretch. Before, they were using the river Niger, they were using the river, that is River Ethiopia, but now we've given them swimming pool at the facility. That is where we have our swimming academy. So I'm not just giving you only the secret that we have in Delta State Sports Commission, but I believe that every state can also think of such.
All right, you listen to the chairman, Delta 2022 Local Organizing Committee, Tonobok Okowa there, and you also listen to, of course, Sorry, I mixed it up. Patrick Uka, of course, the chairman of the local organizing committee, and of course the chairman of the Delta State Sports Commission, Tonobok Okowa, all speaking their minds and showing the state of readiness for the games. All right, let me quickly introduce our partner in the Lagos studio, Ikena Oke. Chikwendu joins us this lovely Friday. Greetings to you, Ikena. What a day to be here to talk sports.
Yeah, good evening, Yemi. It's another exciting weekend. I think this is last weekend for club football before everybody departs for the World Cup.
Before everything is put on hold for the World Cup.
I'm always here for the important, the memorable moments. So it's good to be here. It's good to share the stage with you.
All right, quick one before I go back to Austin. 24 days to the National Sports Festival.
Yep.
And of course, that kind of a briefing always shows you state of affairs. And so from what you could glean, I mean, what can you say?
It's exciting. It's exciting. I'm glad because like you pointed out in the beginning of the show, is our own Olympics. So from this meeting they are having, it has shown that they are not leaving any stone unturned. And Asaba is going to put up a good show. They have always done so when they hosted the athletics meet and everything. So it's a good one. At least everybody, it shows that there is an interest. Everybody's on board. Everybody wants to make sure that this show is a success. This National Sports Festival is better than the one we had the last time. So I wish them. We are following them. We will still keep in touch. We will also be reporting what they are all doing. So I believe they are going to put them because Delta State has never disappointed us in terms of hosting events, be it football, be it other sports. So this is not going to be an exception. So we are hoping to see a wonderful show. It's a good thing that they are meeting and putting their heads together.
All right. Also, let me come to you. One of the challenges, and I joked with all our colleagues, I don't want to mention all their names, but you know the guys I'm referring to. And I said, look, we're going to be having the sports festival at a point when the World Cup will be on. It's going to be a struggle. I know it's our own. It's a mini Olympics. It's Nigeria's should be Nigeria's biggest sporting event, but it poses a challenge.
Yes and no, because yes, because it's the World Cup. No, because if people have interest in the National Sports Festival, they'll find a way to be part of it. For instance, you and I, irrespective of what happens at the World Cup, we must talk about the National Sports Festival. Now, put athletes into that mix, put vendors into that mix, put coaches, put officials, put state government. It's the National Sports Festival. You know, yes, the World Cup is going on, but this is for the country. This is for Nigeria. So it's we. It will do its own thing as a National Sports Festival. I tell you, I think it was in 2018, the World Cup was happening in Russia. The Lagos Table Tennis Open had record attendance on the day Nigeria was playing. And then I was asking the federation, and they said because they had done so much to pump up the interest for table tennis and bring back the passion, you know. So, and for a country like Nigeria, where, come on, we can boast of the population, people, and we're in a world now that everybody is going mobile, everything is digital. People can actually be on their phone, monitor the World Cup, and still be at the venue for the National Sports Festival. Or even disregard the World Cup and watch highlights later, you know. So, I mean, I don't think it will do anything to the National Sports Festival. It's up to the organizers now to find ways to, you know, make it a memorable experience. For instance, when you talk about the English Premier League, I've been to almost all the clubs' stadium. It's just a fun experience that makes people go to the stadium. Otherwise, they'll just sit at home and just watch highlights or watch the game. But organizers have found ways to, you know, make sure that when you come to the stadium, you leave with something. So I think that's what the Ministry of Youth and Sports Development, the MOC, the LOC for the National Sports Festival, and the World Cup is going to be happening at this time, but we should find ways to pump up interest, to make it an event that people would like to come out to watch.
All right. Okay.
Quickly, I think I like the way Austin answered it, yes and no. I think if the Premier League was on, you now be talking about the allegiance of people to the clubs, but national team number one, Nigeria is not even there. So, and if the LOC and the sports ministry are able to put up a wonderful publicity around it during this time, you see people turning up to the games. So
right.
it might work in both ways, but I don't think that the enthusiasm, the interest of people in this World Cup from the Nigerian perspective will be much. So people might, especially in Delta State, in Asaba, might actually go and watch some of these national sports, but if they are able to do good publicity for it.
I know I'm just throwing this on you, and Austin said it, and I want to pick it up, from there. And so probably we do this before we move on to issues like easy access for journalists, for fans, for people who want to see the games. Because if you prevent people from seeing the games, who's going to write about it? Who's going to... Then how to make things interesting. Will those two things pose a challenge in our contemporary society?
Yes, it will, because we don't put emphasis on reportage when it comes to such events. We don't make that a priority. So everybody is now glamoring how the state government is going to come in, who the government official that will come in. Have you been to the stadium? They made the gallery where the VIPs sit. They made it more comfortable than where journalists will sit, and they don't really have that space for them. So I think we should start reorienting ourselves in terms of the way we treat people that are gatekeepers of the news, people are gatekeepers of this information.
Even how about the fans? The way they are treated, just block off a particular place, or
even having one entrance to coming in. So I think a lot of things need. That's why when a competition like this will happen, you have to plan ahead of time. You have to give it years, maybe 2 years down the line. This World Cup has been planned for like 4 or 6 years ago. So you have to plan. How do we get people to come? How do we even allow them in? Easy access in, easy access out. So those things, the reporters coming in.
How do we give them a memorable experience?
A memorable experience, something they even involving them, like they do in World Cup, having fun experience, having fun, play some games, How do we involve them? Can you even say, okay, randomly, just on top of my head, saying, okay, can 6 people come out from the stand and have a race? Just something like that. So they need to have a fun experience so that people will remember the National Sports Festival. So whenever it comes back to Asaba, people will remember. Even maybe 4 years down the line, 8 years down the line, they say, oh, I remember when this thing came and we enjoyed ourselves. So there should be more planning to it. There should be more planning. There should be more engagement. That should be the word. Both fans, both reporters, and also people coming out to also see the show from maybe even from outside the state. So it should be an all-round experience for everybody.
All right, Austin, I'm very sure you quite agree that the success of the games will depend largely on how it's being reported and the kind of experience the fans. Nigeria is not going to be at the World Cup. That should be an incentive for people to turn out. But the experience, issues about security, issues about access to venues, issues about creating exciting content from the games, because you're obviously not going to see everything. But what about the ones you miss? How do the organizers ensure that you see things that makes you not want to miss that event the next time it comes up? All of those things, do you think it will be a challenge? Because it should be an advantage, painful one though, it should be an advantage that we are not at the World Cup. The sports festival should benefit from Nigeria not being at the World Cup. But if those things we talked about are not properly taken care of, it's still status quo.
That's what it is. You cannot use the right word. It said engagement. And that's 360 degrees branding for me. They must find a way to get us talking about it. 24, 25 days to go. We should be talking about the National Sports Festival that will make people look forward to it. They should find ways to engage the media. I love the fact that the MOC, the LOC, the Minister of Youth and Sports, and everyone involved in the planning, they are meeting, they're talking about technicalities, preparations, but there must be other side attractions that the media should key into. Delta State should find a way to really get the media talking. That's how to pump interest. That's how to get people look forward, to the National Sports Festival. Invest in television, invest in the media, find ways to be innovative, think about ways that the National Sports Festival should always be on the minds and faces of, sports followers in the country, particularly athletes, the media, family members have got people who compete at the competition, and all of that. So we're not at the World Cup. They should leverage on that. That audience that will not be divided for the World Cup. Let's find a way to, get them to Asaba. If we cannot get them to Asaba for the National Sports Festival, let them be engaged in the media. So, it's a lot of planning, but I doubt if they can achieve that in about 25 days, And this is what we're talking about, planning. Some way, somehow, the National Sports Festival will be reported by the media, but it's important that the Delta State government and the LOC and the MOC, they find a way to make sure that it's something that we will remember. For instance, we stood in solidarity with Edo State because they showed interest to host the last National Sports Festival. They would have given up with the cancellations that we had. But Edo was so pumped up. They had invested so much in infrastructure, they had invested so much in branding that National Sports Festival, and they wanted it to happen. When it finished, they compiled a proper document of how the competition was done, and they gave good accounts. You see, those are the things we're talking about. Those are the things that Delta must consolidate upon, and the media definitely will do their part. But yes, if they just want to do it, same old same, we just want to have the National Sports Festival, then it'll just come and go.
All right, let me yield the floor to you. We're done with the Sports Festival. We have a few minutes before we go on break. Let's talk about the CAF Women's Champions League. It turned out the way we expected it to. And that's it on your screen. We just look at the fixtures for tomorrow. Group A fixtures determined. We'll be up against FAR Rabat. Simba Queens will be up against Green Buffaloes. That's Group A. But let's talk about the one that interests us. And there you have it on your screen. Bayelsa Queens up against, no disrespect to Wadi Degla, but the Whipping Girls in that group. And, of course, also it gets better. TP Mazembe and Mamelodi Sundowns can cancel themselves out. So Bayelsa Queens have their own destiny in their own hands. And it's good like that. But your thoughts? It did turn out to be a victory for our girls. And, of course, their destiny is in their own hands.
Right now, it's in their hands. I said it last night. I was overexcited. I was reporting full-time when it was halftime. But, it stayed that way. 2-0, they went on to win. I'm sure they learned something from that game to go into their last game against the Egyptian club side. For Bayelsa Queens and this CAF Women's Champions League, I think they should take off pressure of winning and just have fun and just participate, Don't think much about what you're bringing back home. Just have fun with the experience, because I think they're playing under pressure. Yes, the state government have invested. This is an opportunity for women to, make an impression. CAF has put money into it. CAF has also given it some attention, which is part of what I was just talking about, the National Sports Festival. CAF has ensured that the games are on television, it's streamed live on YouTube. I'm in the United Kingdom. I'm following it. I can watch. Our viewers are seeing highlights right now. It's the second edition. I just want Bayelsa Queens to, enjoy these moments, make experiences out of it, And I think if they get into the next game with that mindset, they might just do well. That's how I could see it. I don't know if you totally agree with me.
I think they should relieve themselves from the pressure. Go into the games, enjoy yourself. At least if you get to the semi-finals, you're top 4. One of the top 4 teams in Africa. So one thing I believe in football is football moves in circles. So one day, maybe in the next edition, 3rd edition, 4th edition, it might be their turn to start ruling Africa again, or start ruling Africa for the first time. So I think they should just have fun. It's a tournament. They have been selected as one of the best teams. They are going to win tomorrow's game. I don't have any doubt about it. So going to the semi-finals is how they perform. Don't put yourself under pressure. They might even face FAR Rabat. They are the host team. Even if you lose, it's not the end of the world. You come back, go back to the drawing table. Lucky enough, it's next year. You go back again. So there's only one team that will win. That's the Champions League. That's how football is done. Only one team will win. So the rest will participate. The rest will have fun. And they should take an example from what the dance the Nigerian and German team had after the top place match. I mean, that shows football is fun.
All right. Okay. All right. I think we have to put a pause on it right about now. Let's go on a break. When we return from that break, of course, we will move into what's the biggest sporting event in the world. That's the FIFA World Cup. We'll do that when we return from this break. All right, welcome back. It's time to go into that segment where we take a look at the FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022. We're going to be profiling some teams on the show tonight and also giving you news around the teams that will participate in the Mundial, the biggest football tournament and arguably the biggest sporting event across the globe. And so let's go straight into it. First thing I want to let you know, just in case you have not been doing the countdown, it's just 16 days to the FIFA World Cup. I'm very sure you get a notification of that. Officially is 16 days to the FIFA World Cup. There you have it, Ikenna. Does it feel like 16 days?
It's an unusual World Cup, but we get used to it. It doesn't. But you know, everybody's complaining because of the off-season ED. So it's not a usual summer World Cup we use, but from next week we start getting the balls. We'll still really get the balls.
All right, 16 days. I'm not going to be tempted to ask Austin. I asked him the last time. He said he was feeling the buzz. Maybe because we're in Nigeria, we're not feeling it, especially because Nigeria is not going to be there. So, but then you look at it, 16 days. That's just a little over 2 weeks.
Yes, a little over 2 weeks. A little over 2 weeks, and by now, teams should start. All hands on them. No, we should start. That's what I'm saying about not feeling the buzz. By now, the squad should have been announced. Not professional squad. 16 days to 2 weeks. That's what FIFA usually gives them. The squad, 22, 23 players, 25 players should have been announced by now, so we know who's going to the World Cup. But let's see what happens from Monday. I think by Monday we'll start getting the FIFA.
Especially really. After this weekend, we take the international break of it.
Yeah, exactly. But at least Messi has made us understand that he's not going to play this weekend. He has excused himself. He wants to start be in shape, to be in form for Argentina. So I think by now we should have started hearing maybe official music from different countries. But hey,
yeah, we'll wait.
We'll get there.
All right. So let's move on the show. This is the point where we profile the teams. And tonight, we're going to start with the United States. On your screen, Ikenna and Austin, is the profile of the United States of America. The nickname, the Stars and the Stripes, they're ranked 16th in the world. They're making their 11th appearance at the Mundial. Their head coach is Greg Berhalter. He's an American. Yep. Our producer makes it a duty to let us know the nationality of whoever is coaching any of the teams at the World Cup. The captain is Christian Pulisic. Some people call him Captain America. Their best result ever at the Mundial is the third place finish at the first ever World Cup in 1930. And the FIFA code, when you see the USA, you know we're referring to the United States. All right, so that is the team USA. All right, let's move on quickly and look at another team. When we're done with the profiles, then we'll discuss the chances of the team. Let's flip it now. All right, thank you, guys. Let's go to Wales. Wales team profile. Their nickname, the Dragons. They're ranked 19th in the world. They are making their second appearance at the tournament. They've had to wait for a long time, but here they are at the Mundial. Their head coach is Rob Page. He's Welsh. He's from Wales, same as the country he's coaching. Their captain is the famous Gareth Bale, and their best result at the Mundial, which happens to be their only appearance at the World Cup, was a quarterfinal finish in 1958. The edition won by Brazil. FIFA code WAL for Wales. All right, let's look at another team on the show tonight that we're profiling. This is a team that has come across Nigeria so many times. And a lot of people are wondering how Argentina will feel this time out when Nigeria will not be there. All right, team profile of Argentina, their nickname, La Albi Celeste. That's their nickname. They're ranked third in the world. They're making their 18th appearance at the World Cup. That's awesome. Head coach is Lionel Scaloni. He is Argentine. The captain is no other than Lionel Messi, the wizard. And of course, their best result, they were champions in 1978, led by Daniel Passarella and
86.
Mario Kempes. And in 1986, led by the man we all love, has gone on, has passed on to glory, Diego Armando Maradona, and the FIFA code ARG for Argentina. All right, so let's look at the last team we're profiling tonight on the show. And Ikena, we're going to look at these teams one after the other to talk about their chances. And Saudi Arabia, you know, in times past, not really known for football, but they've invested a lot.
They're always there.
You know, so they're always there. All right, so nicknamed Arabian Falcons, they are ranked 51st in the world. They're making their 6th appearance at the tournament. Their head coach is the journeyman, Havrenat, and of course he's French. And their captain is Salman Al-Faraj. The best ever result was in 1994 when they made it to the round of 16. The FIFA code, when you're watching FIFA matches and you see KSA, just know we're talking about Saudi Arabia. All right, so let's start off, Ikena, taking a look at the United States. Our first port of call.
Yep.
I'll go to Austin, you know, when you're done with what you want to say. But let's start with the United States. What do you make of their preparation and their chances at the World Cup?
I think they were quite disappointed not being in 2018 World Cup. Usually their ex-players were all on their necks because they believe that if they didn't know what they call soccer, then they just went into it.
Football wasn't popular.
It wasn't popular. They were able to go to 2 or 3 World Cups at a row. What happens to now that you have an MLS that's almost a modern, it's almost at par with some of the leagues we see in Europe, and you can't make it to a World Cup? It was very disappointing. So on this particular World Cup, they're on a redemption mission. And they have a lot of players, Christian Pulisic, and a lot of them in Bundesliga. They are doing well in Europe. So it's the ability of the coach to harness these players and make an impact. Americans, yes, they're not going to. They know they're not going to win, but they want to go there and enjoy themselves. They want to go there and win teams and win some matches, you know, and show that make sure that spirit comes to light. So it's going to be a tough tournament for them, having missed the last one. But I think they have the ability of grinding 1 or 2 results out there.
Let's switch. Wales, quickly.
Well, it's all about Gareth Bale. It's all about Gareth Bale. They are happy to be here. They're happy to be here.
And they'll take anything that comes.
Of course. They haven't been here since 1958. A whole generation was lost. Has passed away. The Giggs, the Ian Rush, they couldn't make it to this tournament. But Gareth Bale, and that is all he has lived for. You know,
getting this team to the
World Cup. He said it's all about Wales, golf, and Real Madrid in that order. No disrespect to anybody. So I think they have done well getting there, and their people traveling to the World Cup is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So they are happy to be here.
And they're guaranteed to be there for 2 weeks, whatever happens.
Whatever happens, they'll be there for 2 weeks. And who knows, they're a different animal, especially Gareth Bale, Aaron Ramsey. When they're playing for West, they are different players from their club form is thrown out of the window. So you can expect a very huge surprise from them in this tournament.
Let me see if Austin agrees with you. Austin, let me yield the floor to you. We're talking about 2 teams that all of us agree that if we're talking about favorites, nobody will mention their names. The United States, Wales. Let's discuss their chances.
I think for the United States of America, they can fancy their chances in that Group B, where you have England, Iran, of course, Wales. They missed out of the World Cup in 2018, and as a country, I'm sure that hurt them so bad, particularly that each time they're not doing so well, the ladies go out there and then break records, you know, dominate the world. So this time around, yeah, they can try to, you know, stay at the World Cup. They can try to go beyond the group stage. They can jump on the fact that They're the United States of America, you know. Yes, why we call it football, it's soccer to them, but they've also invested so much. And I think they've got a team that they've been able to keep together since 2018. They don't have individual players that we can start jumping upon to call rather than Christian Pulisic, and everybody knows it's because of, you know, the European football experience that he's got. But they've got some decent players here and there, and we know it from the days of Tim Howard, you know. The United States of America is a team that comes out and play as a team. And when they do that, they can actually stun any team. So, but I'm looking at Group B and I'm saying it shouldn't bother, you know, this United States of America team to get through. But it's also a very tricky group. Why do I say so? Iran is a team that when you underrate them, you get punished. Do you want me to remind you of what happened in 1998 when we're starting the competition and we thought, oh, it's not Iran, we'll run through them, and we couldn't beat Iran? That sort of team, you know. And they've got a coach that understands European football and to an extent, you know, knows how to, you know, team big teams. So let's see when the competition gets underway. Right. But I'm not pushing the United States out of the way. Then for Wales. I think Ken has said virtually everything I've said about this team. I like the zeal that they have at the moment. I like the fact that they are proud that they made history. They've been able to do what some of the greats, you know, couldn't achieve. You know, just playing at the World Cup brings a different kind of feel. And I think that's what Wales can take into this World Cup. Here in the United Kingdom, people are sad that they are drawn in the same group as England, you know, because they will play that and approach that game with a lot of respect. But it's the World Cup. Let's see. It's open. You know, even if you can easily say England will go through in that group, you can't say the same of Wales, United States, and Iran. So football will give us a second team that will get out of that group.
All right. Let me stay with you. We're on this cruise together anyway. Saudi Arabia and Argentina, in whichever order you want to go at it, definitely Argentina coming to a World Cup, they have to be favorites, whatever domestic form they may have. But surely, after what they've done at the Copa, you think Lionel Messi would be thinking, this might be an opportunity for us to get something done. So, Argentina, Saudi Arabia, your thoughts?
You know, when you were talking about that group, right after talking about Argentina, then you started talking about Saudi Arabia. No disrespect, but this is Argentina, and I was just trying to imagine what that sort of game would end when they both meet. You know, for Lionel Messi, I think he would want to make, you know, a mark at this World Cup. I think he deserves to, you know, take a bow in a way that we should remember him. I mean, what else can you say about the Alba Celeste? I mean, this is a respectable football country. They're blessed with talent. We start naming them now. I'm sure it's going to take the entire duration of the show. So definitely want to fancy Argentina. You know, they will miss not having Nigeria at the World Cup. Yeah. Saudi Arabia, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia will just go to the World Cup and try to make it one that they can remember for themselves. They'll just have fun. And I'm sure, you know, they will get the support of a lot of Qataris because they're also doing the same thing for Qatar. I love watching them play at the World Cup. The moment you try to underrate them, they hurt you. So we'll wait to see. I mean, at the same time, you know, I'm very careful when I talk about the World Cup. It's not club football. It's not your regular football analysis because teams just go to the World Cup, get some level of inspiration, and then do something big. But I mean, when we want to talk about Argentina and Saudi Arabia in football, no comparison here.
All right. I'm going to yield the floor to you, but hold on. Your thoughts? I've been told that we just have probably 9 minutes to wrap things up. So that information is for you. So, Ikena, in a few seconds, Saudi Arabia, Argentina?
Let me go with Argentina. Let me go on Argentina.
Okay.
Okay. I think this is the best opportunity. If they miss it this year, he may not be able to get it for a long time because Messi will, this will be his last tournament.
Be out of the equation.
Out of the equation. And unlike the previous ones, there are many other stars in the team. Right now, it's just Lionel Messi. Everyone else is playing for Lionel Messi, and they made that very obvious. Now, another thing going for Argentina is that they have the defense. With Martinez of Man U and Otamendi of Benfica, and what Benfica has been able to achieve in this Champions League, defenses win tournaments for you, not the attacking line. Once you have a good defense, that's why when people mention Belgium, I say Belgium can't win any tournament because they don't have the defense. They don't have the defense to go into a tournament. But Argentina,
they have a glass jaw.
Exactly. But Argentina has been able to sort it out with a very good goalkeeper, Martinez. So I think they have the right team to go into this 20 confidently, and winning that Copa America has given them a lot of confidence. So I'm all out for them. I'm rooting for them. I'm very sure they will make a very huge impact in this World Cup. Okay. For Saudi Arabia, they are good for the ride.
Okay. All right, Austin, let me yield the floor to you. English Premier League is your hand. Take us through. Take us through to the finish line. English Premier League, last set of matches before everybody goes to the World Cup.
And you know, it has been generating a lot of conversations right here in England. Fans are saying that when they pause the Premier League, go to the World Cup, teams will not come back. The same players might be injured, and that the momentum would drop. And I'm saying that we never know. Maybe this might, because this is the first time this will be happening. So let's wait and see. But yes, let's run through some of the fixtures that we'll get to see before the World Cup comes calling. It's the English Premier League. Arsenal got us talking this season. Let's see right after the World Cup if they will still get us talking. We'll see the fixtures right now. Then I'll just run through it. Leeds United will take on AFC Bournemouth. Manchester City will host Fulham. Nottingham Forest will hope to get back to winning ways when they take on Brentford. Wolverhampton Wanderers will take on Brighton. The Brighton Giants Killers last season, and they continued again this season. More action in the English Premier League. Alex Iwobi's Everton will take on Kelechi Iheanacho and Wilfred Ndidi's Leicester City. Chelsea will host Arsenal. This is a fixture everyone is talking about, and I'm saying that let's just wait till Sunday and see what's going to come after this. So I'm checking now we'll also have something to say as regards that one. Aston Villa will take on Manchester United. Southampton will take on Newcastle, while West Ham will host Crystal Palace. It's the English Premier League, arguably the most followed league in the world. Tottenham will hope to keep their fine form when they host Liverpool. I know you're looking forward to Chelsea, Arsenal, and the media here is saying if Arsenal can get something out of that Chelsea match, then we shouldn't take their eyes off them. Do you agree? I
totally agree. I think we shouldn't take our eyes off them. They are in for it. They mean business this time around, and with the kind of squad they have, they might not be letting go in a long while. So, and this World Cup might do them a world of good, They'll be on top of the table, people will go to the World Cup. They'll relax. Not everybody will go to the World Cup. Some of them will be in camp while and training and preparing. And they have understood mentally that they have the ability to go to the 9 yards. So, Chelsea should watch out. And they're coming from a very heavy defeat the last time. Arsenal might just inflate another one on them this weekend. So they understand the mission now. They are not playing around. They are going to the whole 9 years with everybody. At the end of the day, they might not actually win the league, but then at least their first mission has been accomplished. They want to go to the Champions League next season. So a tough game, as it has always been and it will always be. But I think it will be in Arsenal's favour going on Sunday.
Yeah, it's a London derby, and I'm sure viewers watching, it's not difficult to conclude that Ikenna is an Arsenal fan. I mean, when you hear Arsenal fans talk now, Arsenal fans want to talk about football now. I don't even want to ask you about Arsenal, but Arsenal fans are having a good one, and I'm saying it's okay. We haven't seen the Gunners this happy in a long time. Let's just hope they sustain the momentum.
All right, we hope they do. But also, I think we should listen to the managers.
Yes, let's do that.
All right, let's listen to the Chelsea manager, and of course, we also listen to Antonio Conte at some point. Let's listen to Graham Potter, Antonio Conte also speaking about their game against Liverpool. Let's take that back to back. We'll come back to wrap things up on the show.
It's a London derby. It's two good teams, I think. Arsenal are doing really well. Obviously, the history makes it an interesting one for Oba. But the past is the past as far as we're concerned. We're just looking forward to the game and trying to play well. We should make it about him I think it's about the team. He's an important part of the team. For us to get the result we want, it takes everybody, not just one person. But I understand the headlines or the interest is around him because it's Arsenal and there's a narrative around that. That's fine. Nothing we can do about that. It's, as I said before, London derby. Anything can happen in the game. It's that type of occasion. But we want to be positive. We want to play well. We want to be on the front foot. We want to get the crowd involved in the game because they're our 12th player.
This type of schedule is really crazy, and honestly, also it's really strange that in England, and if we start to play 3 days after the final of the World Cup, we are the only country to do it. And then if you see Italy, France, Spain and Portugal in all the countries, and they are taking time to give rest and to breathe a bit. Sure, this shows that it's important for a coach to have time, because if the people that they don't know about football, they think that I have a coach and the story of this coach is a winner, and you arrive and you bring with you the win, and it's not so. And I think Jurgen shows that through the work, through the patience, through the transfer market, he improved a lot Liverpool and brought Liverpool at the top, no, of the world. And for sure.
All right. So the managers having their say. And Antonio Conte, of course, the man at the helm of Chelsea, Graham Potter, also speaking. All right, AK now, quickly. Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham, Liverpool, quickly.
I'll go Arsenal.
Okay.
Against Chelsea. I'll go Tottenham against Liverpool.
Okay. I think Austin disagrees.
No, come on, I will not disagree. I can't do that to a fan. And I've got Arsenal fans who are friends, who are family, even you, colleagues. So I'll just take whatever you guys give. But I know that that's going to be a very tight game.
Yeah,
Arsenal and Chelsea, they always make it rain whenever they play. So we're looking forward to that Super Sunday game. At Tottenham, I love their form in the league. But Liverpool has shown that when they meet the big teams, they can, do the unthinkable. So, and it's not been, the sort of season that Jurgen Klopp wants for his team. So that game also is going to be a very tricky one for Antonio Conte and his team.
All right, let's take our last story before we wrap things up on the show tonight. Let's talk about the UEFA Champions League. We all know the 16 teams that are left in the competition. So quickly, let's show to our viewers. The draws will be done on Monday, I think. Yeah. So on your screen are the key points to note from the UEFA Champions League draw. No side can face another team from the same national association. So you can't have Chelsea and Tottenham.
I think they should scrap this rule.
Well, but at least for this one.
For this one, yeah.
Clubs cannot face opponents they met during the group stage. Ties take place over 2 legs with seeded teams at home in the second legs. The first legs are scheduled for February 14, 15, 21, 22, with the second legs on March 7, 8, 14. So the games will be spread
as usual
for that period. All right, as we go, let's take a look at the seeded teams. There you go. Seeded teams are the teams that won their group.
Yep.
So Bayern Munich, Benfica, Chelsea, Manchester City, Napoli, FC Porto, Real Madrid, and Tottenham Hotspur are the seeded teams. All right, they'll be playing the second legs at home. All right, the ones not seeded are the teams not seeded: Club Brugge, Borussia Dortmund, Eintracht Frankfurt, Inter Milan, RB Leipzig, Liverpool, AC Milan, Paris Saint-Germain. All right, so as we go, let me go to Austin first. And your dark horses. No game has been played, so it's very difficult to say you think somebody can win. But from what we've seen at the group stage, I'm not asking you to talk about a team that will win, but the team that people are not looking at that might win. I see a lot of people saying some things about PSG. That would be my dark horse. A team that has Mbappe, Neymar, and Lionel Messi, as long as they're still in, they have a chance. Yeah. That will be mine. Yeah. But I don't know which one is yours.
For me, it's Liverpool. It's Liverpool, you know, because they understand the UEFA Champions League. They've got a rich history also. And with what they're going through in the league, the UEFA Champions League might just be the side motivation, the inspiration that they need to, you know, gain the respect of football fans in Europe. So yes, for me, it's Liverpool. And but I'm really impressed with what Club Brugge did. I mean, I was struggling to look for Barcelona in that list of 16 teams, and they were not there, you know. And a team like Club Brugge, you know. Let's also give kudos to FC Porto for the level of consistency that they've also showed in the UEFA Champions League. But if you want to talk about a team that is struggling and nobody is thinking that they can go all the way, for me, it's Liverpool.
Ikena.
Napoli. Yes.
But everybody is already looking at Napoli.
Yeah. But they're still waiting for them to lose steam.
Not on that level.
Not on that level. So they are going to surprise a lot of people. And the confidence they are having, Osimhen is
you
not
don't see them dropping.
Osimhen is not going to the World Cup, so he's going to feel refreshed going into January. And that team I love watching these days is Real Madrid. They play football the way football should be played. No.
But you will always expect Madrid to win, no matter what's happening.
They're going to win. Don't razzmatazz. Just get the ball, get it forward, and score your goal. No tiki-taka, nothing. Just play the way football should be played, if you ask me. Then I think Club Brugge has made us fall in love with football again. You understand? You love such stories. You know, patience, selling their players, keeping it up. Their finances are good. They have stable. So their best player to AC Milan, still maintaining, still getting to the round of 16 is amazing. It's an amazing story. Even taking out teams like Atletico Madrid and Bayer Leverkusen is a wonderful story. So I love what they are doing. And hey, there's still that Amokachi connection. So we love them for it.
Okay. Okay. So we've all talked about the teams that people are not paying attention to that could win. How about the ones people are paying attention to that you think that is your first pick? A lot of people are paying attention. Your first pick to win this one. A lot of people are paying attention to Man City. I have a feeling this might be their year.
I think so too, Yemi. You know, I think that Pep Guardiola and his team, they've done enough to rule Europe. And they've been unfortunate, you know, recent times. But with the way they are playing now, look, they play football with so much purpose, with intent, with objectives. They go out there, they know what to want to do, and they go out there and they get it done. And you just see their last game in the UEFA Champions League with young players, they were still able to do something.
Let me button. I was going to allow you land to tell you that our time is up, but I can't do that now. But our time is up. We got to go.
I know we gotta go, sadly. That's what happens when you want to start having fun on the show. That's the show. And so much will happen over the weekend. We'll let you have fun with it, and then we'll come back next week to talk some more in London. I'm Austin Okonakwan, and everything you do, remember, let's keep talking sports. Bye for now.
Yeah, Ikena, we have to say our goodbyes. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. By next Friday, it will be World Cup full throttle.
All right. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of your day. We hope you enjoyed everything we've been able to do. We thank you for the privilege of coming into your homes. We will never take it for granted. Till we see you again next week, I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.